So today in the Instant Pot, what I'm going to be making is like a coconut curry using some red lentils. So just as a bit of a preface, I'm going to be making a lot of recipes, a lot of them with Hannah as well. And I'm not going to post all the recipes to every single thing that we make, because a lot of these recipes are going to be for the recipe book. So it doesn't really make sense to put them all out on the internet for free, because then why would anybody, buy the book? But we will definitely be giving out, free recipes and stuff like that, of course. But not every single one from the actual book will be putting on YouTube.
That makes sense.
If that kind of makes sense.
That makes sense, Dewey?
And thank you for the tip. I forget who actually left this comment. But if you're like chopping up some vegetables that are going to go in the Instant Pot, is to get your water on the saute setting. And then you can just have the water warm up, and when you're ready to basically put everything in the Instant Pot, you do that all at once, and your water is already going to be warm. So it just cuts down on the time that it takes for the Instant Pot to come up to pressure because the water is already warm. Alright, all the ingredients in the Instant Pot. Let's see how it turns out.
That looks good. Good job, babe.
Look at this shit out here. We were gonna go ride our bikes around and do some stuff, but it kind of looks like it's more of like an inside day kind of day today.
You can never see rain on the camera. You can't even see it at all.
Just take our word for it. It's raining a lot.
Bubba, you need to
Perfectly cooked rice, bruh. We're watching Intervention.
Best curry I've ever had in my life. I think
Really
just
good.
when D-Man cooks for me, it's like the best thing.
I'm 2 for 2 right now. 2 for 2. This will definitely be in the recipe book. It's a pretty simple recipe, and
It's very good. It's like a curry from like a restaurant.
yeah, made quite easily in the Instant Pot. So this is the difference between a GoPro and essentially almost like a $3,000 camera set. That's the difference right there.
Better?
Probably a lot better. Probably sounds a whole lot better. I would probably, sounds better, probably looks a whole lot better.
Like, can you get pretty close? Can you see my whole face?
Oh yeah, I can see, your whole head from there. So we're at CarMax right now. We are in the process of getting the Mercedes appraised and sell it off, and
Hopefully we can leave here without the car.
exactly, that's the plan for today.
And then we gotta get a cab ride back to our apartment.
It would have been nice to be able to ride our bikes, but
It's like pouring and
windy and cold
we'd
out,
have to
so
somehow carry the bike rack back
Yeah.
with us.
wouldn't have really worked. The problem right now is that we have to pay off the difference between what we owe on the car and how much they're gonna give us for the car. And so we're trying to get the cash. We have it in a bank account, but getting it to them is proving to be
Well, it's
difficult.
because, you have a limit on the one bank account, and then I've had like our main bank account for like 5 years. I've never ever like used it to take money out of. I don't know the PIN.
Yeah, because we're using the bank account and using it as a debit card because they don't take credit cards to pay off credit, essentially. Alright, so we ended up getting a cashier's check.
You have it, right?
Yeah, I have the cashier's check. Alright, so back to CarMax we go.
This guy's a talker, man.
Yeah.
Negative Nancy.
Yeah, our cab driver was funny. He's negative Nancy, but
Very negative.
we're home finally, and just
Hopefully the dog doesn't poop everywhere.
rip everything up, and we didn't think it would take this long, but
It literally took us like 5 hours.
yeah, but it was just like the circumstances. It wasn't CarMax's fault or anything like that.
No more cars. So people
Yeah.
are like, you're getting rid of the car. Yeah, we got rid of it.
Yeah, it's gone, brass. Okay, you guys didn't chew anything up, and you didn't pee any here
Oh my
either?
gosh, are you hungry?
Such good boys.
Oh. Thank you.
So in the last week, we have sold the house, which is gone out of our lives, and we just sold the car today, so that means all the debt that we had is finally gone. So we just wanted to quickly talk about financing and going into debt and stuff like that. Financing and debt is shit. You want to avoid it as much as possible in your life, because you gotta understand, if you're financing a car, if you're financing a house or paying a mortgage, right? You don't own that property until it's fully paid off. A lot of people think, you know, that they're a homeowner. And it's like, the bank is still actually the owner until you fully pay it off.
Yeah.
If you stop making those payments on your house, you're not that homeowner anymore, right? So when you're making big decisions and you're making big purchases for houses and for cars, you have to understand that that's an agreement that you're making, that you essentially have to pay it off until it's paid off. The problem with that is that you're essentially gonna be almost a slave to it. Like that product or that property or that car or whatever, it essentially owns you. You have to go to work and make the money in order to pay for that stuff.
Plus you're paying shitloads of interest that just accrue like year after year. Like I don't even know how much interest I paid on my house in the 6 years that I owned it. But like my car, I had the best interest rate ever on my car, 1.7%. And I still paid like $1,500 in interest on my car. It's so much better to just pay for something, like save up for it and then pay for it if you really like want a car, or if you really want like a house. Like it's better to just live sustainably and like simple and like rent until you can actually afford something, which is what we're gonna do. We're gonna rent until we can afford a piece of land in a place that we really love and then build a tiny house on it. So just getting into debt will keep you in debt forever because you're paying so much more. Like you said, over the 30 years of owning a house, you've paid for like 2 houses.
Essentially, yeah, it almost doubles the price.
It's better to just rent and just let somebody else take care of that shit until you can find something that you can like live sustainably in, like the Cobb house that Karen and Bob built. Like something like that, where it's just, you build it yourself, it's yours, you have it, you don't have to work. Like you don't have to, if we owned a place to live, like a tiny house, our bills would literally be internet. So it would be like $100 a month, not even, for all our bills, and then we just have to pay for food. So it's like, you barely have to work. It seems like a good idea to finance something, but in the long run, it's gonna keep you in debt forever, or it's gonna make it very, very hard to get out of it.
Yeah, so if you're in debt right now, if you have like credit card debt, or if you have like a car that you're financing, like do your best to pay it off as soon as possible. So we sold the house and we sold the car, and a lot of people think, oh wow, they own a house and a car, they own a Mercedes. When all of it was said and done, we sold the house, the money that we made off the house, and the amount of money that we owed on the car after selling it, we eventually came out even.
Yeah. Like we had to pay $6,000 today to sell the car because we had to pay off the loan. And we made about $7,000 off the house. So it was just like, after all the money that we put into the house as well, it's like totally even. So it's just like, it's better to just get rid of it than to even like have it hanging over our heads.
Yeah, do your best to get out of your debt as quickly as possible. Simplify and minimize your life. Downsize wherever you can. You know, get rid of expensive phone plans, expensive places that you're renting or living. Get rid of your car, move to a place where you can ride your bike all year round. Like that'll dramatically cut your costs. That is essentially what we've done, just to make it easier so that we can save more money, so that we can, you know, buy something outright in the future. Be very, very careful if you're financing something. If you absolutely have to finance, then finance. But if you can just save up like $3,000 or $4,000 to buy a car, do that. Don't finance a $20,000 car just because you can afford the monthly payments. Hope that makes sense. Hope you got some good tips from that, and we'll catch you on the next vlog. Peace.